After 16 days of intense battle for Olympic medals at the just concluded Paris 2024 Olympic Games, and 10 days of protests against end bad governance in Nigeria, which was, however, hijacked in some parts of the country, both struggles could not be said to have met the light at the end of the tunnel, as it would be said that both were dented by controversies and betrayal. A very good morning to you, our esteemed viewers, and welcome to today's Sports Special Now streaming live program. We will be discussing sports alongside other national trending stories for today. I am Godwin Ujire, your anchor for today's show. But I will not be doing this alone. With me in the studio to do justice to all of the issue is a familiar face, Mr. Raphael Rafiki Ojaokomo. He is a social and sports commentator, and joining us virtually all the way from Delta State is Comrade Abraham Soko, who is also not a familiar, who is also a familiar face. He is a political and sports analyst. He would be joining us virtually, and joining us also virtually from Abuja is Prince Kelechi Mbebulam, a professional football referee and a sports analyst. Today promises to be very exciting. It promises to be very engaging because we have a whole lot of stories, and we would be dissecting all through the world of sport and also other national trending issues. So, Mr. Raf, I want to say a very big welcome to you to the show this morning.
Morning to our viewers this morning.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade Soko, I believe you are there. A very good morning to you all the way from Delta State. Good morning, Comrade.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. All right. Also, Kalechi, I believe you are also there with us, and I believe you would be bringing your professional expertise to dissect and sport with us this morning. A very good morning to you also.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Mr. Godwin,
All
and
right.
good morning to the fellow analysts.
Thank you so much. All right, viewers, remember you can be part of the show by calling in the number on your screen and sending your comments via our various social media platforms. If you are just joining us, this is the ACNN Now streaming morning live show with just two medals during the last edition of the Olympics in Tokyo. It was natural for every Nigerian to expect that their Olympic contingent would perform better in Paris 2024, as a whopping sum of 12 billion naira was said to have been budgeted and approved. What could be said to have gone wrong? These are many more we would be dissecting. Still with me in the studio is Mr. Raphael Rafiki Ojaokomo. He is a social and sports commentator. And also joining us virtually from Abuja is Prince Kelechi Mbebulam, a professional football referee and sports analyst. And all the way from Delta State, joining us virtually has been Comrade Abraham Soko, who is also a political and sports analyst. Gentlemen, I want to welcome you back. We are diving straight now into the business of today, which is sports. But before we do anything to that, we would at this point be considering on the Punch Sport Extra, which has so many trending stories there, and it is leading with this. It says Musa, the silent pivot of the Tigers, historic Olympic feats, and then we have the picture there of I think a Nigerian basketballer, and it says unsung hero. Then above that we have Valencia makes Sadiq inquiry. Then also we have Mbappe scores at Los Blanco lifts Super Cup. Then we have Mikel Draba Loy Osime to Chelsea. And then this can be seen on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. Then we have Echechini begins PSG career with confidence. And then just by the left hand, we have Ekong arrives Saudi ahead of Al Collard moves. This can be seen on page 7. Then we also have Blues make improved Felix bid. This can be seen on page 4. Then we have Arsenal keen on Merino. This can also be seen on page 5. And then on page 4 also we have United eyeing 60 million euros Rafinha. Then just below all of that we have Ophili relishes Olympic experience, and this can be seen on page 2. And then last but not the least, there we have Adesanya tip to Kodu places. That is not actually an English word there, but viewers, we want to encourage you to get the Punch Sports Extra, as all of those trending sports stories are well dissected there. Coming back to the studio, so much is happening in the world of sports, especially the what I would call the funny experience.
Funny?
Yes, it is.
It's an abysmal performance.
You said it's an abysmal, but me, I'm looking at it from the angle of sportsmanship. They have done their best as regards to representing Nigeria in the Olympic. But we'll dive into that. But before we look at all of the hula baloo as touching Nigeria Olympic, let's look at some home stories. And there we have this that says NFF to begin second model for CAF C license course. And then we also have Seya set to return to coaching after FIFA banned. Prince Kelechi, I think I'll be starting with you on this. On these two stories, one is saying NFF to begin second model for CAF C license course, and Seya set to return to coaching after FIFA ban. What would be your take on all of this?
Okay, first, I want to say big congratulations to Coach Samson Siasia. By the end of the month, he's over, and we should be seeing him very soon on the touchline. Okay, we should be seeing him doing what he knows how to do best. So congratulations to him, seeing the end of his ban. He wants to come back to coaching. Yes, that is what he loves doing. And the media carried it. He's eyeing a home-based team. Okay, so the fee he's demanding to the team he wants to coach, they are saying it's much, but I believe negotiation is on between them. So I wish him all the best. It's very good to see him back on the touchline. It's very good. I must confess. And if I even as I was it yesterday now or some few days back, someone was saying Sias is the only local coach that could handle the Super Eagles. That if possible, let's have an interim coach until when his band is over, so he comes to handle the Super Eagles. But we don't know how true that is. But I want to believe that is the person's opinion with regards to Coach Siasia. And for the CAF program, it's very good. It's very important because you all will agree with me. Lately, we've not been having Nigerian officials in CAF based tournaments, competitions. Okay, junior well, for us, big opportunity for most referees in Nigeria to dive into this, and then hopefully by the grace of God, very soon we're going to see most Nigerian referees and officials handling CAF tournaments, and this is going to spring up to we also moving into the world tournament at large. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Kelechi. Coming to you, Mr. Raf, to the studio. So I say I've been on that band, and why he was still observing that so much have happened in the space of the Super Eagles. And do you think him coming off, does this call for any change, given the fact that we are still juggling on getting the best coach for the Super Eagles? Does this help in any way?
First off, like Prince Kelechi said, congratulations to him after the long ban. But first things I want to say is hope if he has learned his lesson. Because if he actually went for that ban, it means he did whatever it is he was accused of doing. So I hope he has learned. And then I think he should have been able to. I want to believe during the period he was away, he was putting one or two together, not sitting idle, learning one or two things. And he's looking at bringing it to the home front. But then again, I wanted to believe that he should have been able to maybe lower his asking price since he's coming back after a long time. It's not like he's been doing something and then from nowhere, like a coach who is doing well somewhere, you move to another club and you win a trophy, and then your next club wants to sign you and you're asking for that humongous price. You've not worked for a long time and you're coming and you're asking for such money. I think for somebody who is coming back, he should be able to work within the space that the club can work with until they can see that, okay, this is what you can do, and if the club can no longer pay for your services again, you move elsewhere. But I don't think it has anything to do with Nigeria at the moment, because I don't think any serious federation would jump on Siasia at the moment, because Siasia is back and so on and so forth. He didn't have a very, very good record even when he was not banned with the Super Eagles. Mind you, he coached the Super Eagles at one point and then he was fired. Do you understand me? So I think him coming back right now has no effect on the Super Eagles. And I think the NFF are not serious. They are not serious at all. So I don't want to discuss the NFF at this moment in time. But it doesn't have anything to do with the Nigerian football at the moment. And then the training that is being called for right now, I think is a good one.
See license course.
Yes, is a good one. And, you can help the referees, I'm sure, help them. And I want to believe that whatever they learned, they apply it. We're tired of seeing referees have these difficult calls, having to decide games just by not making the right calls and so on and so forth. Prince Kelechi, I'm sorry, because right now I want to see a game or a league where, irrespective of where you play, if you play good football, you get good results, not the result being influenced by a referee. But I believe as they're going for this training, one or two things will be taught to them and they'll come and apply to our leagues, and we believe that with that the league will improve and we'll begin to see our officials in international tournaments.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Raf. Comrade Soko, so much you have listened to. First is, do you share same sentiment as regards the return of Coach Seya to coaching, and also what would you have to say as regards the C license course being presently initiated by NFF?
Okay, I'll start by talking about the license course. As Mr. Raphael rightly said, I believe it's a good one because it's going to improve our local referees. We understand that being a referee is a very difficult job, and it's not possible for you to get all your decisions correctly. That was the reason why even in Europe they had to bring in technologies to support But having said that, there is need for them to be able to get a high level of accuracy when making decisions on game. Also, on the NFF course, I would also want to talk about the fact that the course also includes training of women coaches. I read that ladies they are taking the course. So beside them, our indigenous we get indigenous coaches for people, but we also of people to hear. It's time for us to try our for coaching very, very good. The return of Sam Siasia, I believe that it's not enough for him for us to just say that he's returning. As Mr. Raphael rightly said, as he learns his lesson, that's the most important thing. Because if you come back and you are banned again, I believe that the second ban is going to be more extensive. So there's need for him to actually learn from his mistakes and learn a lesson. I think Asam Siasa is one of the very good players we have. I like his domino in games and on the bench and on the touchline. So I wish him the best as he's returning. Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
All right. Thank you so much, Comrade Soko. Please, I will still be sticking to you as we dive into the Olympics. You know, so much have been said right here in the studio. Mr. Raphael described it as an abysmal abysmal what again? Performance. And that clearly shows that the performance of the Nigerian contingent right there in Paris was nothing to write home about. And we have this in our local palace that says he does that phase 2 plan has already planned to fail. Now, do you share same sentiment? Do you think that faulty preparation have landed us to where we are presently?
Okay, thank you very much. Based on the statistics, based on the medal table, I agree that we had a very, very poor team. It was actually abysmal, as Mr. Raphael had said. But I would want to say that I am more disappointed because unlike our other games, we actually put a lot into this particular game in terms of preparation. Money, funds was made available, and they camp in Nigeria to camp in Jenny for a period of time, I think a period of 2 weeks. And when you come to the Tigers and the Super Falcons, they had camps in some countries. So in terms of funds being available and preparations, I think it was actually good. But the problem is that the preparation was not sustainable in the sense that when did it really start? You cannot actually assemble to start making preparations 3 months to the Olympic Games or 2 months to the Olympic Games. That's not how it starts. So it shows a rot in our sports, in our local indigenous, our grassroots sports. It shows that rot because I believe that some of the other countries that performed very, very well, they had the facilities, they had the sports stadium available. If they want to go and train, anytime they can go in there. So they have the facilities, they have the equipments are readily available. But in Nigeria, we see a situation where 3 months to Olympics, that's when we start making preparations, and that is not actually acceptable. Having said that, I would not want to blame our sports minister a lot because his performance he came into office, I think, a year ago. As personally, I believe that it has been very, very good. When we had controversies in the Olympic Games, with the situation with Ufili and Lovin Aese, he had to come out to communicate with Nigerians. So he has been, in terms of communication, he has been really, really good. And he has rightly said, I believe that what I believe that our last, I don't want to start blaming, I don't want to start trading blame, but I believe that for us to grow in sports, we have to have a sustainable development. Now we have failed at the Olympic Games. I believe that we should not wait until let's say 3 months to the Los Angeles Games in 2028 for us to start making preparations. We should start now, because the excuse is given is that he just came into office and what he saw was actually very, very poor. So if what he is saying that what he meant is actually very poor, he has the power now to actually build on it. We have failed in spite of the money that was disbursed for the game. So let's not dwell on the failure. Let's build on it. Let's start developing our grassroots sports. Thank you, Mr. Godwin.
All right, thank you so much. I think Mr. Rafe has a counter view to that. But before we allow him speak, the Minister of Sport is saying that we owe Nigerians explanation. Indeed, so much was given, but not so much was gotten. Mr. Rafe.
So much was given. I like when Comrade Soko said funds were released for this. The question you want to ask yourself, at what point were these funds released? Because I think it was weeks to them going to the Olympics that they were giving 12 billion to. For me, that money was for flexing. It was for enjoyment, because at that point in time, the Olympic was at hand. So there was nothing they were going to do with that money. You and I were here hearing them essay complaining of how she didn't even have a bike, which means she had not been training properly for the Olympic, and then she got a last-minute call-up to the tournament. Now, if these funds were made, I like how Comrade Soko said, what he said when he said, other countries, their athletes just walk into the gym and train and then go. Do you know our facilities are under lock and key? Our facilities are under lock and key. No, the same essay also complained that she could not even use what's it called, the velodrome to train. We have one of the very best facilities, but she could not use it to train because either one church is doing program today or another church is doing crusade today, and so on and so forth. Now, yes, I don't want to put so much blame on this Minister of Sport because, of course, he just came into office. But there were people heading those federations, from AFN to MBBF to NFF. We know those ones are not even serious. Then what have you, all the other games. We need to check all these persons, because you cannot just, like I said when I said in the beginning, I said a lot of people just want to be in position, but they don't know what it takes. A lot of people are in offices, sports offices, but don't know what sport business is all about. You don't start training for a game 3 months. As we speak now, some countries are already preparing for 2028, and then we just want to go there like armed robbers and go and steal those medals. For somebody who has been maybe doing boxing training for 3 years, you now train 2 months. I want to go and fight the person, except you have gone there with juju to go and fight. I know, but like we always say, our juju cannot walk outside the shores of this country. You know, it begs to say, where is the local organizing committee of this Olympic contingents? And then I'm sure the reason why maybe someone like Toby Express, that we always look forward to give us something, the pressure was too much on her. Ophili qualified to run for 100 meters. Somebody said they forgot to register her. Nobody has been fired. Nobody has been sacked. Nobody is leaving office out of shame, because like I always say, Nigeria is a country that everything goes. People start preparing for Olympics the year the previous one ends, and then go there, see China coming out with 40 golds alone. America, 40 gold alone. The American basketball female team have won the basketball for 8 years on a stretch. The men are doing almost the same thing. It's because these people have a program that is working, a plan that is working. If you say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board, the drawing board is filled up. It's because nobody is doing anything. Sport Minister Eno will tell you, I just came into office, I can't do anything. The next person will come and tell you, I just came into office, I can't do anything. So it's as if we don't have a succession plan. There was a time we had school sports, Principal's Cup, where we even select under 17 boys. From I remember the finals we played live on TV, where the Nigerian winner we'll play the Ghanaian winner. We'll watch it live on TV. In fact, from the Nigerian session, we'll watch the semi-finals to the finals of the schools that win. What happens to our local sports from the grassroots, where you choose, where people like them, Marion Yali came out from, Choma and Joan, they came out from, Davis in the Zinwa, they came out from. Now we just see people, even one of our athletes that went there was coming out to say she was injured. She went there injured. Who carried her there injured? See, I don't want to talk too much. I don't already talk, self.
All right. So much to digest this morning on the world of sport. Prince Kelechi, I am coming to you. You are a professional ref, and from the outlook of things, when you see a poor preparation from both team, you as a ref, you know better some of these things. Do you share same sentiments with Comrade Soko and Rafe right here in the studio? And given the fact that the sport minister says they have a whole lot of explanation to give, Rafe is saying that this poor preparation happens, say, few months to outing at the Olympics, and is canvassing for earlier preparation years even before we go out for Olympic participation. Do you share the same faith? Hello,
Well, truth be told, I am in line and inclined with what they have said. Okay, Team Nigeria's was very poor, very poor. Okay, you don't prepare for games like this. You don't prepare for a tournament like this. Just want to the tournament. Just like Mr. Raphael rightly said. Don't be surprised. Countries like the United States, like China, like Japan have started preparing for the next Olympics as I'm talking to you. But you know, in the case of Nigeria, where it's anything goes, it's going to be few months, 2 months, 3 months to tournament. That's when we'll start remembering, oh, we need to have trials. You know, we need to start picking this, we need to start picking that. It is so disheartening, and you know, I don't know, should I call it disastrous?
All right.
And even those we have in the helm of affairs, I don't think they are doing any good to us. Please, can you hear me?
I can. Please go ahead.
Okay, I don't think they are doing any good to us, because if you look at the case of Toby Amuson, when it was discovered that an athlete entered the lane of another person, which calls for disqualification, the time we had to file in our case did not, and that's why Toby could not further compete. You know, look at the case of Phile not being registered. You know, look at the case of what is this lady's name? Our cyclist going to borrow a bike. You know, it's really uncalled for. It's really disheartening. The major question is, even the facilities we need, where are these facilities? Do they have them? Do they have the government? I don't think I've seen any time in the last 3-4 years where Velodo is being used for any sporting program. Rather, it's being used for campaign and programs. It's just, I don't know the right word to use, but I just feel it's a tour. Most of our athletes went for tour. But notwithstanding, I must give kudos to the female basketball team, the D Tigers. You know, having beaten Australia, you know,
all right, Prince Kelechi, thank you so much. I think the network is giving us some kind of glitch, so we'll get back to you to conclude your thoughts. Mr. Raf, I just want to ask, because SA is coming to say that Nigerians have one of the best facilities for cycling, but this is always being rented out for religious activities by sports administrators. Now, the question that begs for answer is this. if the purpose of a thing is not well defined, abuse, they
It's
say,
inevitable.
is inevitable. And right there, she's blaming the sport administrators. But for me and you looking at these things, if you say that the velodrome is built for this purpose, would it not be out of place to say give it to other activities that those auditoriums are not built for? So this is a question here.
Okay. I'm looking at it from the angle of maybe maintenance.
Okay.
You know, Nigeria, one thing that this nation is blessed with, is the fact that we can build anything. Yes, Nigeria can give you any edifice, but the problem that we find ourselves facing every now and then is our lack of maintenance culture. Do you get so? And so there's this belief that when you rent the place out, whatever funds come in, you use to maintain the place. And you and I know that's a very, very big lie. That even when the money comes, you still don't see them use it for the purpose of those places. But then again, even if you want to rent it out for other events, the main purpose for which that place was built should be given priority.
Okay.
Should be given number one priority. Some of the athletes came out and said, these facilities, not just in Abuja here, both in Lagos and what have you, were under lock and key. And then these people, mind you, these athletes, that's why I said that money that was paid to them was just to settle whatever bill that they've incurred, because a lot of them trained abroad. They trained with their own hard-earned money. The facilities they use over there, they pay to use them. If they had been using the ones in Nigeria, I don't think they would have been paying so much to use those facilities. But because they are training abroad, someone like Brume had a foreign coach who was with her all through. A lot of them had foreign coaches who are with them all through, because they do their trainings abroad, and that's because we don't have anywhere for them to do these trainings. And you ask yourself, what were this edifice built for in the first place? Why are they under lock and key? If you're afraid of maybe the place housing, how will I put it now, housing unsuspecting, maybe hoodlums and what have you, why not put a something in place to checkmate those only registered athletes coming here to train? That when I used to drive, when I'm in the vehicle passing through the stadium in Lagos, and I see sometimes on Saturday morning I see so many people jogging, in my head at that point in time, there are athletes doing so many trainings for so many events, not knowing that it's just the outside that I'm seeing, people just running up and down. So I don't think that is what should be happening. A sports center should have, in fact, when young people go in there and see these athletes, they will also be gingered to want to go into those events. But when you go there and these places are under lock and key, by the time you come back, is that now we started hearing that there were snakes in Abuja Stadium because the place was not in use.
All right, thank you so much. Komesoko, just to add up to what Ralph has said, one of our contingent is coming to say corruption killed my Olympic dream. And the likes of Ophili is also saying that Olympic experience made me realize how strong I am. These are divergent view coming from two different perspectives. One is saying that the experience has made her stronger. One is saying that corruption in the system is killing the dream. Do you not see this as how do I put this now? Do you not see this as something that serves to discourage athletes in future events?
Yeah, I believe that I am in line with what you have said, and I am in affirmative to the question you have asked. It kills the dream and the motivation of our athletes in future events, because when you see that you are not getting the support that's needed, both the referral and financial support that is needed for you to compete properly, it becomes a very, very big problem. We saw Nigerians or native with sweat. Yeah. welcome to
All right. Comrade Soko,
I
please,
think
you just hold your thoughts while we work on the technicalities and that. We're still having serious network glitches there. Mr. Ralph, I think I'll be sticking to you for some time going forward. Please, so much. The USA women wins Paris Olympic basketball gold for the 8th time in the row, and then so many epoch making and groundbreaking events happening in the last Paris Olympic. The question is, the Nigerian side, we are seeing them now as an unsung hero. Not so much is being said, despite how best we would say they made history for us as a nation, and Africa as a whole is proud of them. We were defeated by now the gold medalists, the champions, and it is no mere feat facing the US. But these girls showed that we can do it. We have the ability to surpass all of our challenges. Now, going forward, where does this keep this the Tigress team as against future competition, and the fact that they are not, I would say, not duly recognized? Does this also not serve as a discouragement to the feats they have achieved so far?
First and foremost, I will say congratulations to the Tigress, because when we saw the group, nobody gave them any chance in that group, because we are going to be playing against Australia. Australia was ranked third. It is ranked third in the world. We have Canada, that's ranked seventh, and then France was ranked fifth. And Nigeria played against Australia, beating Australia. Nigeria, mind you, I think Nigeria, I stand to be corrected, is ranked around 15 or 20 something, beating Australia, who was ranked third, losing to France by not a very wide margin. Mind you, France is a silver medalist of this Olympic, and then we also played Canada. All these teams are ranked above Nigeria, then eventually going to play. In fact, when I saw that we were playing USA, I asked myself, why must it be USA? You get? And everybody Nigeria came across were the ones that took gold, silver, and bronze. USA, France, and Australia. That's to tell you how well those girls performed, how well they played. In fact, when they were going to play US, somebody said, they are going to be whitewashed and so on and so forth. If you see the point, I think I was 84-70, 84-77 thereabouts. The margin wasn't that far. That's to tell you that they held their own also. Being recognized or not, I don't think they should even sweat it, because the whole of Africa recognizes them. The world recognizes them, and the coach Rena Wakama was named the best coach at the Paris Olympic basketball. So going forward, I think they should just put their heads together and see how they can move from there, because now I believe everybody will now see the Tigress as a powerhouse. Any team that wants to play them will not just see them as a country coming from Africa or Nigeria. And I would appreciate it if they allow Rena Wakama and her team to keep working with these girls, and if they can also spot other talents, bring them into the fold that could make the team more better. Someone like Musa, who I think she was the only home-based player in that team and did well in the Paris Olympic. I think, there's how you lose. There's what we call losing and losing well. When you lose and people still get up and clap for you and said, well done. I think they deserve that. And to go back to Comrade, the question you threw into Comrade, I don't think it was I don't think that opinion were from two sides. When one says Ofili saying the Olympic made us stronger, and then one of the athletes coming to say corruption has eaten so deep into our like call it system. Ofili saying the Olympics making us stronger was the fact that she was still able to push despite the disappointment of the 100-meter omission. And Nigeria were very funny. The moment you don't register your athletes, that slot is left open, and then they look for the next best qualifier and fix into that. After Ofili discovered that she was not registered, you won't believe that our officials were going there to go and find out how they can beg for her to run. So what happens to the athletes that was being placed there? Remember, there was last year when I don't know what was happening during the MBBF squabble, that the Nigerian team, the Tigers, was withdrawn from the World Cup. A team replaced Nigeria, and that was Mali. So just imagine Mali, after getting to the tournament and want to play, come and say, please now just allow us play, now let Mali go back. After all, what? No, things don't work that way. If your house is in order, you won't need a system where they will have to replace you in the first place. So her saying she became stronger is doing away with all those negative vibe and still going all the way to the final of the 200 meter and coming sixth. Trust me, that was a whole lot. If you watch her race, every time she qualified, you see the way she celebrates it, to tell you that this person is really going through a lot. And then when you talked about the corruption eating into the system, do you know why even in this Olympic we went for boat rowing?
Yeah.
I go to some weekends, I go to Jabi Lake to do exercise, and I see that rowing facility there. I see the boats there. I have never seen that thing in the water for one day. I have never seen that thing in the water for one day. So all these federations, they need to check them, because money is being released to them every now and then. The question is, what do they do with those money? That's where the corruption comes in.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafiko Giacomo. Unfortunately, we have run short of time. I would want to say a very big thank you to all of our virtual analysts, Prince Kelechi Obebulam and Comrade Abraham Soko, all the way from Delta State. Indeed, you made this show a success today, and your contribution was quite insightful. And also to Mr. Rafiki Giacomo, we say thank you for spending your time with us
Thank you
on
for
the
having
show.
me again.
All right. Despite the poor outing across various sports, we must at this point commend the effort, the resilience, and determination of our female basketball team, the Tigers, for doing us proud and making history for Africa and the world. This is where we would be drawing the curtain on today's show. I say a very big thank you to our wonderful viewers and guests once more for staying tuned. Remember, you can get more of our programs via our various social media platforms, and also by staying tuned to this station. So we'll come your way again with another interesting topic, same time, same station tomorrow. I am Godwin Ujiri, and bye.